Okay, today we're going to talk about Google Analytics. We're going to talk about what Google Analytics is. We're going to talk about why you should use Google Analytics. How to sign up for Google Analytics. How to install it on your WordPress site. And finally, we're going to have a little peek around. So what is it? Well, Google Analytics tracks visits to your website using JavaScript. JavaScript is just some code. All you really need to know is that it triggers every time someone visits your site. It records information about those visits and visitors. So, for example, how long the visitor is on your website as well. Then it visualizes this information, which is important because most of us are visual. Finally, it is free. Why should you use it? Well, it's free. There's also a pay version, but I don't know anyone who uses the pay version. It is far and away the most popular site traffic tool out there, which means there's a lot more support for it. You only need a Gmail account to set it up. And if you don't use a web analytics tool, you have to look at logs. And you don't want to do that, and here is why. Look at that, and that is just a small sample of 196,000 server entries in 21 hours to this particular website. It's awful. So how to get it? You need a Gmail account. You need to go to analytics.google.com. You need to create an analytics account there. As you can see, I'm setting up a Gmail account right here. And then I'm selling my soul to the devil. And that is my Gmail account all set up. So I go to analytics.google.com. And then I sign up. And this is where I put in account information. And I will cover that momentarily. And industry information, time zone information, and then I agree to share information with Google so they can improve their products. And I sell my soul to the devil again. And here we get our analytics tracking ID. And if we weren't using WordPress, we'd have to put that in ourselves. But fortunately, we're using WordPress. So your account is your business, your property is your website, and the view is the display of the information. Most people will only need one of each. You can have 100 accounts and lots of properties and lots of displays, but you probably only need one of each. Here you can see I'm trying to get my tracking ID, but like I said, we're using WordPress, so I don't actually need it. Just before you go ahead, make sure you already have analytics. So pick a page of your website, hit Control U, Control F, and then type UA to see if your tracking script is already present. As you can see in this example, I found it in my source code, so I have analytics on the site. But let's assume you don't. So install it for WordPress. You want JavaScript to be present on all public pages that will receive visitors, because you want to track all of that, and there is a plugin because we're using WordPress. So I go to plugins, either installed or new. I click Add New, in and installed, and then we're going to use Monster Insights, which is the most popular one. You can see I found it there by typing in Monster Insights, and then I've hit install, and now I just need to hit activate. And then now that I'm in there, activated, you can see it's in my list of plugins. I'm on the settings, and then I want to authenticate with Google, which is that big blue button there at the bottom. So that opens up that, and then we get a code, and I give them permission to access my stuff, and they give me a code, and I copy it, and then I paste it, and then I go ahead, and they want me to select an analytics profile, so I pick the one I want. If you have more than one, you gotta check it's the right one. Done. Make sure to filter out IP addresses of yourself and any developers you have working on it. That's something you should get an expert to do. Alright, now we've had it set up. Let's talk about page views. Page views are single visits to your website. Anytime someone views a page. Sessions are made up of page views. A session could be one page view, but it could also be a very large number. Sessions terminate usually when someone leaves the website, but if they leave and come back immediately, it might might still be going. And then users create sessions and page views. So sessions are made up of page views, users are made up of sessions, so a user can have multiple sessions. All right, here we are on analytics. This is a week's traffic in the life of this particular website. Here is traffic for a year, this time set up by weeks, and then this is all-time traffic by month. So you can see various different things. Here's real-time, where you can see visits to your website. Real-time is stupid. It gives you a very small sample of your traffic. It only really helps identify that your site is on or using analytics, so don't use it. Demographics, you can see visitors by language, which is useful. You can see visitors by country, which is useful. You can see visitors by city, which is somewhat useful, but less useful because the problem is this information is just based on your IP, so it may not be accurate. And you can see the second thing there is not set, so maybe you're not even getting any information there. Browser is handy because different browsers have different functionality, and especially old browsers may not be viewing your site correctly, so you want to make sure that Chrome's up there. Operating system may be useful. Screen resolution is very useful because especially if you have any buttons on your site, you want to make sure they're above the fold, and screen resolution helps you to see whether or not people can see your buttons or your calls to action. And there's tools out there to test that. Audience overview, if you want a particular audience, this shows you your gender and your age. You want to advertise to the right people. Interests, this information is not necessarily accurate, so I take this with a huge grain of salt. It's guessing by Google, educated guessing, but guessing nonetheless about the interests of your visitors. So be careful about that. Here we got geography again. This is a visualization. I prefer that to the location by country. Return visits are very important. Return visits are a sign of quality, so ideally you want return visitors in a very large proportion to new visitors, though you still want new visitors, of course. Browser breakdown. Mobile is extremely important in 2017. Google's gone mobile first. You need to make sure that your website is not only compatible with mobile browsers, but is optimized for mobile browsers, which means that your site needs to be faster. This particular site, as we'll see shortly, is not. But you need to do things to make your site faster. Channels. Organic search is Google or Bing. Direct is someone types in your site or comes from an email or pastes in your site. Direct is great, as is organic. Referral is a link. Paid search is an ad campaign like AdWords or Facebook ads. And social is social media. And the last one is Google's not telling you or doesn't know, one or the other. We're going to skip over paid social media. You can see the breakdown by here. You can see the effectiveness of your various social media campaigns. Behavior. This is the area where you see the different success rates of your pages, and I like it because I think it's much easier to optimize a page than a site. So we got our basic fundamental unit again, page views. Unique page views, though, are when people see a page only once. So a unique page view is a subset of page views, right? So someone might view a page twice. That would only count as one page. A unique page view would count as 2 page views. Average time on page is a sign of quality. The longer someone spends on your page, the more Google thinks they like the information. Entrances, or like landing pages, or like the pages that are used for people to show up on your site. Bounce rate is the percentage of which people do not find what they want and leave your page immediately. Like that time you're on Google, you click on something, you go, oh, I don't want that, and leave instantly. That's what the bounce rate is. And exit rate is the percentage at which people leave a given page, say like your contact page. Maybe they go to your contact page, get information, and leave. Site speed is very important. As you can see, this site is very, very slow. It needs to be fixed. Search depth is also important. How far into your site people go. not far enough here in this case. And then we'll talk about some more advanced things we'll talk about in a future presentation. Events are triggers you set up for specific actions. Goals are things you want to achieve, say like average time on site or a number of visitors. Custom segments are a way of presenting the data in a custom way that maybe makes more intuitive sense to you than what Google has done. And a funnel is a combination of events and goals. Basically, people do certain things on the way to, say, purchasing your service or something. So there are free online classes on analytics at analyticsacademy.withgoogle.com. You should make sure your data is correct when you're doing this, so get someone to check, set up properly, and you should be making sure you're interpreting your data correctly, so you need to talk to someone about that. Finally, if you want to set up any of these advanced features, probably talk to an expert.